Judgment time.
Welcome to Everything Comes Back to 2000AD, and today I'm joined by Mr. Arthur Ritus.
Mr. Rossy, what you want? Oh, the tree of ice cream cones, a cocoa castle full of home, custard cakes, coffee breaks, holiday, we're on the same.
Hey, that is true. Hello from sunny Southern California. I hope you all enjoy the fact that it took me 10 minutes to get up the stairs to get in the closet to record this.
Mr. John Burtis.
Hello to all you drockers out there from the future.
From the future?
Well, yeah, I'm ahead of you, remember?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
You've got to catch up all the time.
Europe is so way ahead of the United States that it's crumbling as a civilization before our eyes.
See, and I fucking said it would happen, didn't I? The EU is fucking horrendous.
If you're from the future, is this going to be like a 6-hour episode where you go through all the deaths?
Well, there's only a couple of deaths this week.
Well, this week, but in the future.
Yes, but I don't want to spoil it for people who don't know they're dead yet.
Oh, when does Gary Newman die?
He died a long time ago. Hey! Once his hit parade ran dry of his one hit.
There was a King of the Hill.
It died like his hair.
That's it.
Hey, that's a good one. There was a episode of King of the Hill where Hank tells Bobby, Weird Al Yankovic died when what was he said? Oh, he said Weird Al Yankovic committed suicide when people stopped buying his albums. Something like that. I forgot what the line was, but it was pretty funny. You had to have been there. Yeah.
Well, anyway, we got 2 deaths this week. One, which made Mr. Ross very sad because he was the one who messaged me. I'm sure it was you. And it is, let me just make sure I've got the age here.
I want to hear the pronunciation too.
Okay, they get me. Let me just read it first.
You not like John's impression of you last week?
I thought it was accurate. Yeah, it was spot on. I thought I was there.
I should have started off with Vive la France, shouldn't I, really?
Yeah.
Rather than my Mexican part. But anyway. Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa, age 75, American actor. Now,
you don't sound American to me.
Well, he says he's an expatriate from Japan because he was born in Tokyo. I don't know why they have to put Japan behind that on the fucking Wikipedia. There's only one place. If you said Tokyo, most people on the planet would say, "Oh, Japan."
Well, Rossy lives near Tokyo, don't you, Rossy?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. It says here he was often cast as villains in films such as The Last Emperor, License to Kill, Showdown in Little Tokyo, where he obviously met Rossy.
That's a great
Rising Sun, Mortal Kombat, The Phantom,
yes,
Pearl Harbor, Planet of the Apes, Memoirs of a Geisha, Tekken, 47 Ronin, Tekken 2,
oh god,
Revenge. And he was also in the Amazon Prime television series Man in the High Castle.
Yeah, and he was the flawless victory guy.
And he was also in Lost in Space, the series, the latest series. Yes.
And
Oh,
that is truly the short list. Like if you go into the direct-to-video movies that you and I love, John,
yeah.
he's like all over. He worked with all
Well,
the greats.
oh my God, his first thing in film, like on this official list, because it's pretty long. He's got short films, television, which is big. Right, so his first film, are you ready, Mr. Ross? He
Yep.
was Wing Kong Swordsman, uncredited, Big Trouble in Little China.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on the Hollywood's favorite Asian list for a long time. Whenever they needed.
I'll give you some of his roles, his names. Toshi, Kang, Thug in Flashback, Lieutenant Lee. I'm obviously using the American version of Lieutenant there. Lieutenant Lee, Oriental Man, Imperial Marine, Kwang.
Well, I tell you
Sanga.
what, he got the good roles for the extras. Because imagine if you're an extra and your credit on IMDb is blowjob guy.
That's
Yeah,
it.
or Oriental Man.
But this is my favorite one.
Oriental Man.
This
That
is my
sounds like
favorite
an
one.
Adam Sandler character. I'm Oriental Man.
That was in
Like
Twins.
Opera Man.
That was in Twins. He was Oriental Man. But this is my favorite one. In American Me, he was El Japo. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, that guy was like so good. I would say he was never, I mean, he basically played the same bad guy and everything, but I mean, he was never bad at it. He definitely gave us 100%. He was in tons of movies that we loved, or at least watched, and didn't turn off halfway through.
El Japo.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
but and also he was, but I think we should cancel him because half of those character names are not Japanese characters. He played all the Asians.
Yeah.
He played Chinese. He played Oriental. He played. I'm sure there's a Korean stuck in there somewhere. So he.
So in the television stuff, right? He was in loads of episodes of all sorts of stuff that we've all watched. MacGyver, Star Trek Next Generation. Obviously, we know Flint hasn't watched that. Miami Vice, LA Takedown, Knots Landing, Moonlighting, Alien Nation, Mission Impossible, Jake and the Fat Man, Hardball, Baywatch, he was in that, Space Rangers, Babylon 5, Nash Bridges, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Stargate, SG-1, Poltergeist Legacy, Johnny Tsunami, Walker, Texas Ranger, Heroes. Oh, he was the swordsmith in Heroes. Grimm, Teen Wolf, Lost in Space, Star Wars Rebels. He was voicing that. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He was voicing that. Yeah, so he's fucking. He was in demand quite a lot.
Yes, but.
Mm-hmm.
But.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna take this into my own hands here. I'll be honest, as you know, I watch very little television, and so almost none of that stuff meant anything to me that you just mentioned. The important things are direct-to-home video movies.
Oh, God. But he's done. I've got here. There's 5 video games he was involved with: Soldier Boys, Batman: Rise of Sin Tzu, World of Warcraft.
That's
Legion.
actually a pretty good game.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 11 and Mortal Kombat Onslaught.
See all. IMDb mixed in the TV shows with the TV with the movies. Okay, so here we go.
Oh, it does have a video on the right hand side. Man with the Iron Fist 2. He was the mayor. Direct to video.
License to Kill. Dang.
The License to Kill.
All right, so Big Trouble in Little China technically is not direct to video because I saw it in the theater.
Oh, I know it's not. It's what fuck it was in the pictures.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't remember. Okay. So Kickboxer 2, Perfect Weapon, Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Now, I'm afraid, listeners, this bit's going to be thrilling because Rossy's trying to find out all the titles that I've said, and just say if they're in fucking direct-to-video.
No, because you didn't mention the direct-to-video stuff. White
I'm not going to
Tiger.
mention every fucking film.
Oh, he was in The Phantom.
Yeah, I said that.
Did you? Did you, Flint?
Yes.
I don't remember The Phantom.
It was the great Kabai Singh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, he was in another Dolph Lundgren movie, Bridge of Dragons. That was that's right. That was
Yes,
okay.
he was General Royshang.
Yep. So, and now we're in the year 2007. So the direct-to-video movies are
2007.
Yeah.
Born
So
for
I'm
Fury.
almost done.
He was in Born for
done.
Fury. He was the mysterious Asian man.
So he was. Mortal
Secret Asian man.
Yeah. Somebody actually recorded that, right? That song. Yeah.
Oh man.
Black Cobra. Have I seen that? Doesn't.
Naka, direct to video.
So Mortal Kombat is a freaking masterpiece, but man, those two Tekken movies are rough. And I'm not even sure if I've seen Tekken 2 because Tekken 1 is not good. Oh shit, there's like 3 of these things. Look at them, 2.8, 4.8. That's the first one.
Well, they're good enough to get sequels.
Yeah, well, I mean, you slap the Tekken name on it, somebody's going to watch it. So
that's true.
But yeah, I mean, the Mortal Kombat movie, the only downside to it is, well, the 2 downsides to it are that the women were not martial artists, and so and they didn't really fake it very well. So, but everything else, it's like they really tried to make that the best video game movie of that time, and probably the first one still holds up today, and the second
it doesn't.
The first one.
No, it doesn't hold up today. The only thing, it does not hold up today. But it's a great movie for its time. It's fun. It's still fun to watch. But watching that Mortal Kombat is like watching Jason and the Argonauts.
You plunk a kid down and play that music and have that chrome dragon with fire belching out of it during the opening. Their attention is, I don't care how much ADD they have. Their attention will be held.
You mean on the stop motion creature with the 4 arms? What's his name?
Goro? That's stop motion and
no kid's watching that. No kid is watching that.
It doesn't matter that Goro's not perfect either.
What I'm saying is it is dated. It's very
when
very
they break out into those fights, it's like awesome.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. I mean, I'm not saying it's not a bad movie. It's a great movie. I loved it. I loved watching that movie. I thought it was fantastic, and it still is great. But it does show its age.
Yeah, and Christopher Lambert's all mortal men and women fighting in Mortal Kombat. It's like the greatest shit ever, man.
No, I agree with you. It's I'm agreeing. It is a great movie and it's a fun movie, but it does show its age.
Well, it aged like Ripple.
well, I love Superman
like
the movie.
Boots,
yeah,
awesome cheap boots.
I love Superman the movie with Christopher Reeve, one of the greatest superhero movies ever made. But watching that, I watched it a couple of years ago with my grandson. That's most of that movie is cringe. You're looking at it now, you're going, ugh.
People remember the opening, the thing where he's flying around and saving cats, and the love scene with
TV.
Yeah, the Can You Read My Mind, all that. But man,
that's not
when Ned Beatty and Gene Hackman are trying to steal missiles and it descends into like
farce.
Laurel and Hardy farce, it's like holy shit.
But even the Can You Read My Mind part is cringe. Every time if I was to edit that movie, I'd take that whole sequence or just take the voiceover stuff completely out of that because it's so bad.
Oh yeah, it sounds like they had intended for her to sing it and said, "Ooh, she can't sing."
Just even singing, just the whole sequence is terrible. But they did cut out a couple of bits for TV and for some of the releases. There's the bit where he rescues the cat from the tree, and the little girl, you can hear the little girl talk to the mom, says, "Oh, this man flew and got the cat from the tree." and you hear a slap, like the mom slaps her for lying. They cut that out of recent. If you watch that on TV now, that's not there. They cut that part out. And then when Superman goes to confront Lex in his underground lair, there's all these series of traps that Lex sets for him.
Yeah.
In the European version, they kept it in, but in the US version, I think they cut it out. They cut it out, the theatrical version, and just added it in. You can get the special anniversary edition where it's all that stuff is in there.
Yeah, I saw it on TV, and just like the one time, and I was like, yeah, it's a little more action, because really there's not a whole lot of action in that third act.
Yeah, and even the end where he spins around and makes the world spin backwards to go back in time. I mean, we'd all be fucking dead.
Well, people
bad.
People have forgiven him for that one, but like I remember there's like for a long time there's a lot of outrage, like what a punk out that was. So
yeah. Anyway, Margot Kidder was a terrible Lois Lane, so they should have let her die anyways. She was terrible.
For the 70s, she was okay.
You know, well, when you see who screen tested for it, when you see you screen tested for that role, you're like, yeah, she's probably the best pick out of all of them.
Yeah.
Because they had Rizzo, what's her name? Rizzo from Grease.
Oh, really?
Real tough chick. She was Lois Lane. She was, Stucker Channing was tried out for the role, and they even have a screen test for her with Christopher Reeve doing her Lois Lane, but she would have overpowered him because she was such a strong actress and such a gutsy. You know what I mean? She reminded you of Lois Lane when Lois Lane first appeared in Action Comics, where she's all guts and glory kind of thing. She wasn't like, oh, Superman's my boyfriend, I need to get him to marry me. That kind of crap.
Right.
She back when she was like the reporter. So
right.
her performance would have completely overshadowed Christopher Reeve.
Which would have been a tough balancing act in the 70s.
Yeah. So it's probably best that they did go with Margot Kidder.
Yeah. Have you ever seen like the screen tests for Phantom Menace with all the other child actors? It's like
no, but I remember Liam Neeson saying when they were shooting the Phantom Menace that George doesn't like directing actors, so it shows through all his movies.
Yeah, but also the other kid, as whatever you have to say about Jake Lloyd, I'm not going to argue with it.
I watched him in Turbo Man the other day. Remember Jingle All the Way with Arnie?
Oh, Jake Lloyd is in that too?
Yeah, he's the kid. He's Arnie's kid.
Oh, you must be married. You'd watch the holiday movie.
Oh yeah. Well, December is Marnie's is Christmas movies for Marnie. Every night we watch a Christmas movie, and so I've never seen Jingle All the Way. I've seen clips of it and everything else. I watched it the other night, and boy, is that movie so fucking bad.
This is good to know, because I saw this thing on Instagram. It was like every Hallmark movie ever. It was a little 2-minute skit. I will send that to you. Now, I didn't know you would appreciate it.
So. Oh, when Marnie's working out, she watches the Hallmark Christmas movies just because they're brain dead stuff.
Oh my God, that's like that's you and me watching Andy Sedaris movies.
Yeah,
they're like the Andy Sedaris movies for women.
Jingle All the Way is so bad.
Oh, I know.
It's me. It's your father.
After the fuck your freedoms thing, it's like I try to like Schwarzenegger again, but no. Even as Conan, I'm like, no, he's terrible. He does this. He's not even a good sword fighter. He does this thing where he swings a sword in front of him, and then behind him, and then he strikes the pose, and then the sword fight, he's like,
But the thing with Arnie is, though, I will give him this: he does know he's not a good actor.
Yeah,
I mean, he has no illusions to it. He just, it's like when they did Twins, and what's her name, Thompson, Emma Thompson? She was a love interest. She was a love interest in it, and this is years later. I think it was Graham Norton's show. She was asked about Arnold, and she was asked, "Is he a good actor?" And she just laughed. I said that and she said that even Arnold knows he's not a good actor. You know,
right? Which is weird that they kept putting him in movies where you didn't need a huge muscle man to be in. You know.
Well, it's like John said, in the US, we create movie stars, while in the UK, they have actors.
That's true.
You know,
So, hey, speaking of John, did somebody else
Except for
die?
Al Pacino. Al Pacino's a good actor. Robert De Niro's a good actor. Well, maybe
We
John's
have
wrong.
no, we have some good actors, but like
Yeah.
we have stars too, like you said. That
Yeah.
are, yeah.
Well, I don't think we have much anymore. I don't think we have much stars anymore.
No.
Tom Cruise, that's it, really.
And they're all, yeah, it's weird. They're all like in their, like the last few are in their 50s and 60s. You know, Keanu Reeves, maybe Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
You know. So.
John, sorry for disrailing you. Have you got another death?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I've got Steve Cropper, aged 84, American Hall of Fame guitarist. And who did he play with? The Blues Brothers. But also, I mean, I didn't know all this, but he's a songwriter, and he wrote, or part wrote, 3 of the biggest songs. In the Midnight Hour, which obviously we've all heard, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. Where's that fucking other one? I'd written it down, but I fucking lost it now. It'll come to me anyway. But
I know.
Go on, Billy. Yeah, go on.
He co-wrote Soul Man.
Soul Man, yes, and he gets a reference from Jake Elwood, Jake from the Blues Brothers in that. Gets his name shouted out in the middle of the song, and he also gets a shout out by somebody else. Otis Redding shouts his name out as well. Worked at Stax Records, backed initially for people like Otis Redding, Wilson Pickett, Carla Thomas, Rufus Thomas, Neil Young, and then obviously he shot up. Then he did his Blues Brothers stuff, and then he's fucking basically worked with fucking tons of names. You know what I mean? It's like a who's who of like famous fucking people. But and it also says here, Cropper has a cameo in the Weird Al Yankovic mockumentary, The Complete Al, where he plays a bit of soulman in an unsuccessful attempt to join Al's band. Fucking hell, you bastard, Al.
Well, I know that scene. Yes, I will confirm that. Yes,
that's right. But yeah, as soon as it popped up, I fucking whacked onto fucking YouTube to watch a few bits, especially in fucking the Blues Brothers. But there's a brilliant song he's playing with
Murph and the Magic Tones.
Well, yeah, but I'm just thinking he did all that sort of stuff. But then I found another video where he's doing one with what's that fucking Tom Jones, and
wow,
Royal Albert Hall, and it's basically Tom Jones. You hear the guitar, Tom Jones walks on the stage, starts singing the song, and it's basically him and fucking Steve. And it's fucking awesome. But
is this old Tom Jones or young Tom Jones?
It was say about 15, 20 years ago. I'm not 100% sure what year it was. But the thing with Tom Jones is his voice hasn't left him. You know, when people going about Paul McCartney, his voice is different. You know,
David Lee Roth.
Yeah, but Tom Jones' voice has never fucking faltered. You know what I mean? Even now, he pops up on shows and he'll do a little bit, and you're like, "Fuck me, that is so deep and powerful." Yes, yeah, it was quite sad to see him go because, like we said before, because there's so many famous people now, you'll be getting so many more deaths, and say within the next fucking half a dozen years, it'll be like fucking mega big names every fucking other day, every day. But yeah, fucking a bit shit. But I mean, like I say, with Steve, it was great to just go into his catalogue and start seeing bits and bobs he'd done. But yeah, it's fucking Green Onions. That was the one of the best ones that I like. The instrumental. I think it was the only instrumentalist in the top 500 single or tunes ever, sort of thing, for fucking a couple of decades, and then a couple of other instrumentals went in there. But yeah,
do you have all the Blues Brothers albums?
I have predominantly of quite a few.
Because they did a cover of that one too.
Yeah,
they must have been able to get all the Steve Cropper songs rights at a good price if he's like playing with them on the albums.
Yeah, I think with some artists, if they own the rights to all their stuff, they fucking give people a bit of leeway. I remember reading something once where a director, I don't know what film it was, but he wanted one of Robbie Williams' songs, and it was going to cost him much, right? He said we couldn't afford that. He said, so I knew Robbie, and so I got in contact with him, and I said, look, we can't afford this. And he went, yeah, all right. And then mates rates, and he got mega cheap. Because I presume Robbie just went, well, if it does well, I get money when people watch the film and enjoy it and go, what was that song, if they don't know about Robbie Williams? So he went, and if it doesn't do well, I've still got a few quid. You know, that was his reasoning behind it. So he just went, and plus he's a mate. And you just think, that's sometimes how it happens, isn't it? But you get like stars do little cameos in films for a mate for nothing. They just get up on set and they go, oh yeah, do you want to be in this? I could fit you in a scene for a laugh. Yeah, I'll do that. So you get all them sort of things where it would normally cost them a fucking fortune. But yeah, so there we are. 2 deaths. One made Mr. Ross sad, and the other one made me sad.
I'd say both of them are. I mean, I've seen the Blues Brothers many, many times. I was a huge fan. So,
what do you mean? Was it should still be?
It's rough. After reading that book, it's rough. You're like,
did you read that book in 2 times 2 speed?
No, I read it at getting through the first half of it and saying no. Yeah, I read slow. I got through like half of it and I was like, I don't want to know anymore because the damage, they did so much more damage than what you see on screen because everybody was out of their minds on drugs.
The drugs was written into the contract.
They had a drug budget. They had a black budget for the drugs.
That's right.
Yeah,
and he fucking used most of it. And they made Ray-Bans sell well the next year, but he basically lost a Ray-Ban every fucking day of the shoot. So they had fucking loads of Ray-Bans for him.
And at the time that movie was made, it was very hard to find that style of Ray-Ban. I know.
I'll tell you why. Because it was just about to be fucking, it was sidelined and they would never do it again.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be a retro look and it wasn't retro cool. It was just to be funny almost. And so like to actually find them anywhere, I couldn't. And then so there's a Devo story. You'll see where I'm going with this. So Jerry Casale, the guy who isn't Mark Mothersbaugh, he's like the other singer who talks a lot. When they performed on Saturday Night Live, he said he got his, they came from Akron, Midwest. They had pot everywhere, but they couldn't get cocaine. So he got his first vial of cocaine for Saturday Night Live. And he was showing it around. John Belushi like grabbed it and snorted it. That was it. So,
well, I don't have a death, but I do have a well-wishing. We wish our favorite racist letterer, Dim Dumbbell, a speedy recovery from his spinal surgery. I guess he had something wrong with his spine, probably from being up his ass for decades, or maybe it's a result of being up other people's asses for decades. Who knows? But we wish him a speedy recovery. So there we go. We're not all bad.
Wow,
that was beautiful.
I'm not even putting anything on the back of that.
I just thought that was like something that was Oscar worthy. I brought a tear to my eye.
Yeah.
Well, I wished him at the Southern Contingent meeting. I said what I thought of him to a couple of people when they mentioned him. I had a massive grin on my face.
Yeah. I don't know, man. The thing is, like, it's been said before by people much smarter than me, which is
that's like everyone on the planet.
Yes, thank you. So the thing is, like, social media is a blessing and a curse because did you know what Tom Frame's politics were, or who's the woman who did a lot of work for 2000 AD?
Do we
I mean,
know
did
now?
you know? Huh?
Do we know now what Tom Frame's politics were?
No, I mean, like, you didn't know you generally didn't know much about Tom Frame other than he was a letterer who worked for 2000 AD. He was good.
He was a letterer who actually used to draw the letters, didn't he? Didn't
Yeah.
use computers and stuff to help him out and just put stuff in, doing it piss easy. He was a real craftsman, a real craftsman.
R.D. Parkhouse is another one.
Andy Parkhouse. I had a brain fart. I'm sorry.
I bet when he did his fucking letter and he was hunched over the desk doing it, I bet that fucking hurt his spine. But he had a real fucking manly spine, and it fucking held.
Frame? Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, but my point is that, like, you knew what his job was, and you knew he was good at it. And if you met him in a convention, I haven't heard anything. Bad. First of all, like Flint says, nobody goes to a convention to see the letter. But if he just was at the letter and you noticed the name tag and it was like, oh, it's Tom Frame, and he talked to him for 5 minutes, I haven't heard any negative stories. So I'm sure he was a gent, as you people would say. So part of the problem with is he gets on the internet and he comes across like,
you said his real name. You're going to be sued now for telling the truth.
Fucking hell. You know it, Tim Dumbbell.
I'm using vague terms. Allegedly he would get on the internet and it's been reported that it's widely believed that he came across as,
Hitler.
A cowboy.
A Hitler. He was Hitler. And he even admitted to it. Because I listened to the fucking interview with fucking Stacey, and he said, these are not the exact words, but this is roughly it. I was a right fucking cunt on fucking the internet because I can't help myself, because I hate every fucking living person because they all think differently to me. And because I sit with this fucking stupid massive goth hat on in the middle of summer looking like a fucking nonce, that's why I have to do it.
Maybe he thinks he's like Lemmy or something like that.
You see? And I still haven't said his name.
Maybe I should get all in his face for cultural appropriation for dressing like a Western American cowboy.
In the pale moonlight.
It's a bit grim.
Yes.
Good gravy.
So,
well, when we do Adventures in Trumpland,
it's your show.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, go ahead.
I've got a death. I've just realised I've got another death.
Oh.
Did you just check?
No, it's a death in the way that Flint does deaths.
Oh.
It's the EU.
death of Mo Salah's career.
Oh, yeah. It's the EU. After they're trying to fine fucking X 100-odd million for free speech.
Oh, yeah, wow.
That's and the thing is, straight after they did that, did Next become the #1 downloaded platform in all these European countries?
That's right.
They can't do that because they're punishing an American company for free speech because the EU wanted a backdoor in to be able to control what was said and what wasn't said and who gets certified and who didn't. And so Elon, being the way he is, said, no, we're not going to do that. So that's why they punished him. But the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, is not going to stand for it. So you're going to see some repercussions to that because the EU is fucking around and now they're going to find out.
I hope that America say, do you know what? Fuck NATO, you fuckers over there can fucking fend for yourselves. And then the EU will create their big army, which they've always wanted to do. And all those EU lovers that have been going on about saying, oh, you Brexit wankers, well, all you EU lovers can join the army and go off and fight Russia.
Well, if you read the strategy document that the Trump administration put out recently, you'll find that they're worried about Europe. They think that the culture and everything else is going to be completely dead in 20 years or less if they don't change, and they won't be able to trust most of their allies over there. It'll be unstable, and another thing is the freedom of speech thing is a big thing with the US against the European Union. And also they believe that NATO should be actually run by the Europeans and not by the United States. The United States wants to take a step back. So it'll be going to be interesting times.
80% of the money into it, didn't you?
Yep. So that's going to change.
So there we are. The final death.
The death of the EU and the death of Mo Salah. What a way to ruin your career. I mean, he's a Liverpool legend. He gets dropped on the bench and then complains about it in a way that he's more or less attacking the manager. It's like, dude, nobody is bigger than the club. I mean, he just totally tarnishes himself. If he plays again for Liverpool, I'll be absolutely shocked and stunned. I think he's off to Saudi Arabia in January. I think he's done.
All that money in crowds of 10 people.
Yep. That's the way it works in Saudi Arabia. Anyways, Adventures in Trumpland. I see that they're trying to paint the Venezuelan drug boats as fishermen. So like Marilyn, remember like Marilyn Man, like the Marilyn Man that they're trying to say wasn't a comic. They're trying to do the same thing with the Venezuelan drug boats. They said, oh, they're just fishermen out fishing with tons of cocaine and crack and fentanyl on their boat.
Now, I'm not a fishing expert, but when I've been down to the docks and stuff when we're off on the coast, and I've seen all the fishing boats, I don't remember any of them being like 30 to 40 foot long with 2 to 4 massive fucking outboard motors in the back and nowhere to hang fucking your rods, no pots to put fucking fresh catches in, you know what I mean, all that. These look very different to all the fucking fishing boats I've seen.
Well, it's not just that. They're trying to get them for the double tap, that they bombed the boat first and there were survivors and they bombed it again. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If somebody's making a bomb and they're going to blow up a building and you bomb that building before they can create the bomb, right? And there's still survivors in that building, you're still going to take them out because they're terrorists. The Venezuelan guys were tapped as narco terrorists. So, and even they're saying, well, the boat wasn't even going towards the United States. Doesn't matter. It got drugs in it. You were told, you were warned. Boom, done. I mean, the whole point of the first strike is to take everybody out, right? So even if they're survivors, you don't go, well, our first mission is to take everybody out. So then your mission doesn't change because there's 2 or 3 people still clinging onto the boat. If they were clinging onto the boat, you don't know, it's fog of war. You take them out anyways. Zero tolerance.
Best to kill them because you don't want them to drown, do you? That'd be horrible.
You would have taken it if you had to take them out cleanly with the first shot. There was no need for the second one, so they would have been dead anyways. But the thing is, as well, with those boats is they're in international waters. They don't fly a flag. They don't. There's no Venezuelan flag on them, so it's not as if it's a wartime thing. They're trying to treat it as if it's a war crime, but it's not. It's totally different. They're pirates.
Their own people fucking take these drugs and fucking have a miserable existence, plus they'd rather their friends get their lovely drugs because they need them to fucking keep doing their work and shit. But obviously the poorer people get their lives get completely destroyed by it.
Yeah, I think Rossy's dropped out of the podcast.
Fucking hell.
Will I send him a link? Oh, he's waiting in the lobby. There we go. I'm admitting him in. There, you're back, Rossy.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know what happened.
Well,
but I think they should send out. Do you know the plane from Vietnam, the Puff the Magic Dragon plane? It's the one, I think it's a Hercules, and it's got like 3 massive Gatling guns out of one side of the plane, and it just flies in circles and it just pounds down the ammunition onto a specific zone, and it just fucking circles and just keeps hitting and destroys everything. That's what they should employ to take these fucking speedboats out. Then nothing will survive.
Well, what they're doing is it's all a big psyop as well. Is that you remember the Seditious Six that came out and said the military should not take part in legal orders, right? So just by coincidence, there was a New York Times article, or not New York Times, Washington Post, I think, article that came out and said that Peake's Hegseth said to kill them all, and then I think the New York Times came out after that and said that's not true. Basically, which has shocked me because they're a left-wing newspaper, came out and questioned the Washington Post and said that's not what happened. So it's the funny how you had the Seditious Six make those claims. Oh, don't follow illegal orders, but didn't do that under Joe Biden. Didn't say anything under Joe Biden or anything like that. But just said it because Trump is president, because he's doing these strikes in outside of Venezuela, and then we have the New York Times. It's like it's all coordinated, isn't it?
Of course.
Yeah, they're such scum, man. I hope they never get elected again, unless they go back into the center. I mean, it's the thing.
That's what our country's doing. They're stopping fair fucking mayoral elections and stuff because they know they're not going to be the ones who win. So the Labour are like, oh, we're cancelling that, and you think, why? Why are you doing that?
It's like in Honduras. Trump came out and said, hey, vote for this guy. The guy's winning the election, so they stopped the counting the votes at midnight.
Yeah.
Wow. Nothing dodgy about that at all.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like they're going about, oh, you're fascists, this and the other. You think, well, hang on, fascists stop people having a vote. You need to look and see who actually are the fucking fascists in this country.
Yeah, nobody cares about that anymore. I mean, nobody buys into that. It's like the name calling and all that. It's like, sure, whatever.
And like Trump is a big time authoritarian, but he keeps on going through the courts to get his job done. I mean, why, if he's authoritarian, why is he using the courts? Oh, because he's fucking not. People are deranged. Anyway, that's Adventures in Trumpland. The whole Maryland man is now the fishermen in the boats.
Woo!
They had one Democrat on TV saying they're just ordinary fishermen trying to make a living. You mean ordinary fishermen trying to make a living by selling drugs and get a drug boat into the United States and get money from drug trafficking? Yeah, that sounds perfect. Well done, idiot.
If only they could control Twitter, we would never know these things.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, it'll be the impact of Elon buying Twitter is you can't really put the value on it alone. It's just unbelievable. I mean, we would be living in a total censorship society if it wasn't for that.
Yeah. It would be like living in Saudi Arabia, North Korea, and combined.
Be disastrous. The amount of censorship would be incredible. Anyways,
I mean, they've already done the censoring Twitter thing before, and nobody talks about. It's so weird that like nobody talks about how bad that was. It's like, oh well, that's the Republicans did it too, and the guy who actually did the thing said, well, I'm not for or against. He's not 100% on either side, but he said that the Democrats did way more. There's a lot more Biden
a lot more extreme. Yeah, the
So.
Biden administration. I wouldn't say Biden because he didn't know what fucking day it is. I'd say it's his administration.
Right. His auto pen did it.
His auto pen. All right, Rossy, you got anything in Kickstart? Let's go on to fun stuff. Kickstarter corner. You got anything, Rossy?
It looks like Uncle Pat's Hellbreaker is done. So I think I might have even got a link to download it already. I'll look into that. I don't want to say for sure, but there's a bunch of, because I'm only doing digital for a lot of stuff now. It's I got Ben Dunn's, a couple of Ben Dunn ones that we got the links to, and Uncle Pat's finished.
Yeah, he made his target.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got 15,272 of a 9,000 target. So
not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad.
I'm gonna put a smile on that one for Uncle Pat. See if I will be shocked if since it just ended, I'll be kind of surprised if there's a link to the digital copy already. They have to collect.
No, it'll be a while.
Yeah, but still, they've been good about it, so it'll be fine.
It's another success for the 77.
Yep. Don't they? Do they have something else going on too? It feels
they had this Comic is Haunted with Dave, but I think that was it.
Yeah, they had a couple of things going, sort of like
Blazer Annual.
Yeah, they had some stuff going concurrently. We have so far missed the boat for for the old 77 issue, and anyway.
Well, let's I'll tell you what. In the new year, let's go through the 77 issues that we didn't review, that we haven't reviewed. For example, I think we have a couple of This Comic is Haunted and stuff like that to go through. We'll plan on that.
By that point, we'll have the new one, so we just pick it up there, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think we not went through, because honestly, I'm not sure where my copy. Well, yeah, I have to sort through a bunch of shit, so I'm not sure where some of those are.
Right. Well, Kickstarter with me, and still waiting on that Eduardo Rizzo book from Alien Books. Taking our time, but I think all the stuff going on with China at the time kind of threw a spanner in the works for them. But they're pretty good. They will fulfill it. So I'm just waiting on that one. As far as Thugs goes, I said this last week, and same again. Nothing's changed. The fulfillment and printing has been paid. I'm just waiting for them to email me all the tracking information for the physical copies, and then I'll get that done. And I was expecting something this Friday, but it never showed up. I was expecting all the tracking information to show up this Friday, but it didn't happen. So I'll just have to wait till another few days and see what's going on. They'd be very slow this time. I think I put in the order when probably a few days after the Kickstarter ended, and that was back in October, I think. And now it's December, so they're taking longer than usual. So that's kind of a worry, but they've taken the money, so they just need to fulfill it. So I should be done in the next few days. I should be getting that tracking information, but that's it for Kickstarter Corner for me.
Cool. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else. How about you, John? You got anything out there?
I've got a couple of funny things. Then I'll get into the Southern Contingent gathering. First up, we have Shirley Manson of the popular group from about 20 years ago, Garbage, if not 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
She's in the news lately because she's gone insane. She's doing a lot of gigs in Australia, and at one of them, one of their big fans who's bought all the CDs and all the merch and stuff, because as we found out afterwards when she's been interviewed, he had a little beach ball and he was throwing it about in the crowd, which happens at many concerts. Even groups that I've been to, they brought one out, and a massive one, and booted into the crowd. The Darkness did that. They fucking did one about the size of, 6 foot round sort of thing. That was quite funny. Anyway, she went mental on him, right? All you got to do is Google it. She's telling him he's got a tiny penis. He's fucking scum. I'm sure she uses the word scum. She went bonkers, right? Anyway, what do you think happened at the next gig in Australia?
They all had...
Yes! They were everywhere, bouncing about, and she had to apologise, but she doubled down on the apology by bringing fucking... you're all whinged about the beach ball, but you don't care about Palestinian children, and you just think, what the fuck?
Wait, was that for real?
Yes, that is for real. Just Google it. It's like, fuck me. You do realise this will turn a lot of your fucking fans off, and they'll just go, fuck, I'm not going to watch her again. Right. The next one was brilliant. Carolyn said to me afterwards, oh God. So we're over in Rochester, which is a beautiful area, and there's two policemen stood at the end of the street chatting to somebody, and as we're walking towards them, this bloke, or a young 18, 19, 20, I don't know how old he was, on a scooter, electric scooter, went flying past, I don't know, 25, 30 miles an hour, mega fast, right? Off the pavement, onto the road, whizzing about. So I turned around to the police and went, "Isn't that illegal?" And one of them went, "Yes." I said, "We can do anything about it?" And he said something along the lines of, "Oh, he's a bit far away now." And then I went, "Oh, hang on, I think he's posted a horrible meme. You might have to catch him now." And then I walked off. And then I walked off, and Cowlin went, "Oh, God." And I went, "Hang on, Cowlin." I said, "Nobody's allowed on a fucking scooter in a town unless it's a hire scooter. And there ain't no hire scooters in anywhere in Kent. I think they did it in in Canterbury, but it got cancelled, right?
Because it's Canterbury where all the stabbings are.
Everywhere in fucking Kent stabbings now, with fucking the London lot coming down and other people. So Cowlin was not impressed, but I went, "Oh, hang on a second." I said, "That person might fucking knock an old person down and fucking cripple them, or a kid, or whatever, because look at the speed they're going at." And then police, the pair of them, couldn't be asked. They couldn't be asked because they're fucking lazy, useless kids. That's the problem with our police in this country. They're shit. And that's why I did the sarcastic comment about the meme. You know what I mean? I thought, yeah, I know, you're fucking useless and everything. And there will be a comeuppance when the fucking country rises up against you.
Well, what's funny, Flint, is now that we've spent time with them, we can imagine exactly what Carolyn would sound like when she's saying, "Oh, please."
Yes.
Long-suffering wife.
That's it. And the final thing is, I went up to London on Saturday for the Southern Contingent gathering. It was a good old laugh. Went in the pub. Fuck me, the music was ridiculously loud. So I don't know if we'll go there next. We might meet up there next time, but if the music's gonna be that loud, we won't. It's just fucking, like, you only need it at a certain level so people enjoy the conversation. You don't need to be fucking shouting across the table or to the person next to you. Have to lean into the ear to tell them what you're fucking talking about. You know what I mean? And at one stage, the fucking pub was surrounded by fucking horses. It was like two horses with like.
What's little... Jason on the horse?
Yeah.
With Ashley.
I think these might have been people who originally came from your neck of the wood.
Oh,
that's them. They had
I can't say that word. That word is like,
you know the old bicycle seat, that weird shape.
Yeah,
they had two of those attached to a frame behind, like a buggy type. Not even a buggy, but like just them two sort of seats. So I presume they were from the gypsy ancestry type people. And when we left, there was fucking all shit all over the fucking place.
Did they try to repair your fence again?
No, but they. I don't know what they were doing there, but anyway, they were there. Anyway, we had a good chat. I popped into Forbidden Planet.
But they selling a little bit of carpet. Would you like to buy a little bit of carpet there now? Would you? A little bit of carpet there.
I popped into Forbidden Planet Fest, had a little look round, and I seen this massive corner that was everything was for sale. And it was like, there was books on movies. There was a specific section there, like a whole wall of it. And I went over there and I went, fuck me, there's a Firefly book here. Oh, Preacher, The Boys. I saved, well, not me, because Cowlin's bought them off me. I saved £75 because the two of them were £5 each and one was 99p. But they're normally like 40, 35 and 25 quid, that sort of price. And so I'm like, the arts and making of books and substantial size, like the old coffee table books. So I came home with that. The thing was, what annoyed me was I bought them straight away when I got there. So I had to carry them everywhere. And I'm like, there was loads and I could have waited later. But the problem with waiting later is you forget sometimes. Then you just go, shit. So I bought them. They were wrapped up. None of them were fucking open, so I couldn't check anything. But I thought, for £5 and a quid, who gives a shit? So I've given it a count and I said, right, 11 quid, please. They're for Christmas. And she said to me, how about I get you nothing? You just bought everything you want and just give it to me and said, I want the money for that. But anyway, so I got them. Damon came up, our little lad from Poland, who I did my joke about, saying I'm holding him for ICE to turn up and escort him out the country. He brought in his Judge Dredd book, which he's going to get signed by Jock next week, and he also brought in the Button Man oversized edition. Now, it's not the same size as these fucking books I've got next to me. the Apex ones. It's an Apex book, but it ain't that size. But it was 50 quid apparently. It was half the price, so you got it. Now I looked in it, and I just thought, there's nothing extra in there at all. Obviously the words have all been taken off. The only thing that's extra in the book is the bottom left, I think, of every page has got the page number and what the strip is, written by Arthur Ranson. And so I just thought, there's nothing new in it. There's nothing showing pencils. There's nothing showing figuring out or anything like that. So I personally didn't think it was worth, well, initially 100 quid, even 50 quid, unless I was a mega fan. But there's nothing new in it. Unlike these books, there's the arts or different and all sorts of stuff. You get extras. So that was very strange. Yes, we had a fucking good old laugh there. Me and Chris had a good talk, and I said to Chris, you need to do some more of your little fucking animal stories with Mr. Ross. And then I obviously took the piss, saying, well, you haven't got much. I said, you've only got like 20 years left, 30 years of life left, so you probably wouldn't have time to get another strip from that lazy bugger. But yeah, and then Simon, your housemate in the summer, coming up next year. Well, that's not the summer, is it? It's sort of March, isn't it? San Diego, I can't remember. Anyway, he had a little chat with me, talked about you, and he goes, oh, I don't want to sort of overstay. I said, stay as long as you fucking like, mate. He'll fucking love it.
Yeah.
And apparently you're staying with him down at fucking Airbnb in San Diego.
Well, it just got even better because it looks like Ben Dunn's going to be sharing it with us too.
Oh my God, it's going to be a fucking gay fucking daisy chain, isn't it? Oh, and as you know from the message,
gay bar.
As you know from the message that I did with Simon, and I said, ask him about Big Gay Ron. So yes, so and then he was talking about his trip, saying what he'd like to do, and he wanted to know about the part of Route 66 I did. So I'm telling him all these things. Now he's been over to America a few times, and he's been to fucking the Grand Canyon. He's done parts of Route 66 without realizing he was on Route 66, like Kingman. He's done Monument Valley. So I'm telling them I'm saying, right, this has got lots of stuff to look at. That's got fuck all. This is okay. That's beautiful. This, you know what I mean? Then I'm telling them, right, we went down here to now you love this. I said, so I'm at El Paso now on the Mexican border, right? I said, and we can see the Mexican border, right? And he says to me, is that on Route 66? And I had to say, what the fuck are you on about? I said, I told you we came off Route 66 from Albuquerque. I said, you've been on Route 66. You know where it is. It's not on the fucking Mexican border. So you're going to have to teach him some fucking American geography when he gets out there, because he was fucking all over. It was hilarious. But,
I was warning him against like downtown LA and Hollywood, and it's like, if you're going by yourself, I don't know if it's worth it, you know, especially if you don't know your way around and blah blah blah.
But he still wants to go to that McDonald's, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yes. Well, does he want to go to there's one that's relatively close to me, like you can get there.
The oldest one, he said, I think, of the first one.
Because there's the oldest one, which is actually active, and then there's the original one. There's the original one, which is just like, I don't even know if it's active as a McDonald's anymore. But it's like whatever the restaurant is there now, and then they have like a little garbage side museum, and that's the original one. That's really far away. And then there's the oldest one, which is still active as a McDonald's, and they have it all dolled up like a 1950s, like it was exactly in the 1950s with the little museum next to it. That's not that far away from me. So I'm still not sure which one he wants to do, but
he kept saying the oldest one. So like I say, just fucking take the piss and just take him to something that looks shit and go, there we are, that's been here for 150 years.
Nothing around where I live has been around for.
No, just wait. Oh, that'd be brilliant. That'd be brilliant. Just make fucking shit up. Just fucking point to a house and go, there was a fucking something happened in there. Just fucking make shit up for a laugh and just see how much he fucking believes.
I tell a lie. The Romans has been there. Well, we've not been in that location for almost 150 years, but that's considered super old for.
God, you had books in America 150 years ago. I can't believe it.
Yeah, they're all like Western cowboy novels.
Well, they called Westerns because obviously America was Western, so it would just be novels, wouldn't it?
We call them here. We just say they're here books.
I thought so. Well done.
Documentaries.
Yes.
So.
Well, what movies or TV shows have you watched?
Well, you go first, because I've got to just do the cup of tea for Carolyn. I've got to keep her sweet.
You should go first, Flint, because I honestly, other than Landman, I don't think I've seen any movies or anything.
Well, apart from the Christmas movies, I'm not going to review those. Although Jingle All the Way was pretty bad.
All right, well, I'll be honest. Full disclosure, we talk freely about Burtis Prime and acquiring movies that we don't want to pay for, blah, blah, blah. So even though I haven't really seen anything, part of it's because there's nothing really that I really care to see. I've got a disc full of stuff to watch, but anyway, one of the sites that I go to look for whatever, they are just like full of those Hallmark holiday movies. So yeah, tis a season for that shit. But aside from those, what were you saying?
Yeah, apart from the Christmas movies, you watch one a night because it's Marnie's season.
Yeah,
I watched the Navy SEALs, the SEALs course that they're doing. The one that, oh God, I always get the name of it wrong. We'll find it out. SEAL Team. It's called SEAL Team.
Is that the one that John was watching?
No, not SEAL Team. What was it? Reality show. Special Forces, it's called. World's Toughest Test. And I watched the last season, the latest season, and that was pretty fun. And so I decided, well, I've never watched the other seasons, so I went back and started watching. There's only 4 seasons, so I start watching season 1. And season 1 has Jack Osborne in it. So I think he's pretty funny. And they make fun of him on it as well. Like he was carrying a boat, and he said, "I think I hurt my trigger finger." And the SEAL guys, when they get together and they talk about the different contestants or different people, they're not really. It's not really a contest. It's just something that they're doing themselves to see if they're able to do it. And they're all making fun of Jack Osborne, calling his index finger his trigger finger. So there's lots of stuff like that real good put downs that they give in the show.
See how he fits all this in, Rossy, and you can't even fit in one fucking episode a day.
No, I saw Landman with my dad.
So. Weirdly, I'm watching Landman.
Yes,
I've just watched the second episode of series 1. And I could see the ending of episode 1 a fucking mile off.
They're taking their time. A lot of these series shows, they descend into this. Well, a lot of the streaming shows, they're not really about the story per se. It's just you're following the characters around as they do stuff, and that's what this one feels like. There's plots and there's subplots. There's like 3 things going, and then we'll spend like 10 minutes but with his wife and his daughter doing farcical things. And
the interaction with him and his daughter about the sex stuff is fucking hilarious.
Well, that was the first season. This one, it's mostly just him and his wife and daughter doing like really dumb shit things, and it's funny, but so I don't. I mean, I'll watch the show with my dad. It's relatively harmless, but it truly is a dick around on your phone and then look up periodically kind of show now. It's just these are the characters going through their stuff, then it's over.
Right.
And that's why I don't really care much for TV shows. I prefer a movie because I'd prefer like 3 bad movies to one, finger quotes, good TV shows. And the other thing is, like, every one of these shows, I know why they do it and I respect why they do it, but all of these characters are pretty much pieces of shit. So, and that includes Breaking Bad, and that includes ones that I did watch all the way through, like Warrior series and whatnot. So but people I don't want to rain on anyone's parade. People like them, and I watch them with my dad. He likes them, so there you go. I did watch a interesting YouTube video about I prefer the YouTube video. It was about Chris Farley. You know who Jim Brewer is, Flint? You probably know.
Yeah.
So is he doing some kind of like right wing or religious podcast now?
Well, he does lean to the right. Yeah.
So he's talking to some kid, and the kid asked him, like, what's the most demonic thing he'd seen in Hollywood? And so it took him like 20 minutes to tell the story, and he was doing voices and everything. But it was about meeting Chris Farley on Saturday Night Live. And the short version is they were saying what a great guy he is, and And then he shows up and he's like sweating and just basically coked out of his mind. And then there was another story where he was writing the sketch that he was going to be on with, I forgot the comedian, but anyway, they were writing their Saturday Night Live sketch, and these 2 girls show up, and they're like, "Who are they? They look like hookers." And Chris Farley comes in, he's like, dumps some cocaine on the table, and they start doing it. What?
You went, they look like hookers, and I went, Chris Farley showed up and I went, that's my wife and daughter.
Yeah. So anyway, he said he said it wasn't like a one evil thing, but he said there was like this Chris Farley machine around him who just didn't care if he died. And he was like, he was saying like, oh, I feel like I should call him. There's something wrong. I should call him. And like, it took the manager, Chris Farley's manager, like months to get around to giving him just the phone number. And by that point he had died. Then when he finally was, he died before he could call him, was his short thing. And I was like, wow, that is pretty sad. But he said he said Chris Farley had told him before he died that Jim Brewer was going to be next. And the point was that they make stars out of people, and then they don't give a shit if you live or die, as long as you can perform and do what they want you to do. So and apparently Chris Farley kept asking me, am I funny? Am I really funny, or is it just the hangers on saying I'm funny? So he had a lot of self-confidence issues. So I'm trying to think if there was anything I saw that would be interesting to anybody else.
Well, what was your point? What was your point of that story?
It was something I watched. That was it.
But everybody that makes it big in Hollywood are always surrounded by those people.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, he really got into it, like especially because he did all the voices and everything. You could kind of it was almost like he sort of felt the experience of just how hollow it all was. So, but I thought that was interesting. The one thing, I know that people talk about the AI slop. Man, so I've got two YouTube channels. There's the one that I use all the time, and then there's the one that I only use when I'm watching it on the TV because I want to watch the video. And so that's where I got all the Bollywood clips, and I got a couple of actual movies. They put a full movie up there. I got those saved, and that's where all the music, all the music documentaries go to, that kind of thing, because I want to see them. And if it looks like it's just going to be somebody talking, I'll turn it off, and if it sounds interesting, I'll put it on the other one because I can make my morning drink or whatever while I'm listening. But man, the AI slop on that, and I don't mean just like tutorials on how to use AI. I mean like 10 of the worst movies ever made. And I'm like, oh, well, let's see if there's something I've seen, knowing full well it's going to be all of them. And you get this AI voice that I will admit, though, it sounds human. But then they start mispronouncing words that everybody knows.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like,
I've seen some of those.
Yeah, it's like I'm fooled, and then it's like they'll say, I don't even remember the example of this one, but it was like they'll mispronounce the name of the person, or they'll spell out the word, and they'll be like, it's AI slop. And then especially the ones, well, there was one about 20. Watch out for this channel. Don't fall for it, because it's like 20 weird things about something you liked when you were a kid. So they did. Have you ever seen Pinocchio in Outer Space, Flint?
No.
So that was an animated movie, and it was interesting. Like, it was interesting for about 5 minutes, because apparently it was like some Belgian production company who had to outsource to a bunch of other companies. And I saw the movie a lot when I was a kid. It was on TV all the time. But they kept saying how bad it was, and then they kept saying it was pretty much the same words over and over again, how bad it was. And I was like, oh, this is AI slop script. And the same channel had 20 weird things about Land of the Lost, and I was like, oh, cool. And like there were a few things that were, it's like I already knew them, and then there was a couple of interesting things in there that I didn't know. And then after the fifth one, they kept saying pretty much the same phrases over and over again. While kids were thought they were watching a show about dinosaurs, they were watching something much darker. And they would repeat something like that after each bullet point or whatever. So, yeah, now I have to watch out for that kind of shit. I mean, I don't mind the AI stuff. We've talked about it, but this is when they do say it's going to be used for evil. It's like, yes, I see it. I do understand. So, and you know what I did? I stopped watching it. I stopped watching it, and I deleted it from my watch history so I wouldn't get more of it. So, gee, that was the end of my world. That was so hard. So anyway.
All right. You guys want to do the Prog?
Oh no, I've got a film.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
I watched a film like the young kids do nowadays. I watched it on my fucking phone.
How was it? What was it?
Well, I went into my phone, which is a brilliant Samsung, and I was in like the bit where it says stuff like Bixby, YT Music, Smart Things, Gemini, and it had a thing saying, where's it fucking gone? No, that doesn't say that. It's there it is, TV. So I went, I'll just touch that. Let's see what comes up. And all these colours came up. We've got Samsung TV Plus. Fallout Season 1's on my phone if I want to watch it. All that sort of stuff. I went, let's look at the movies. Evil Dead Rise, The Ledge, an old film, Big Mama's House, Iron Mask, The Girl Next Door. So I went, The Ledge. I'm sure I've heard that's crappy, but it'll be fun to watch. So I watched The Ledge, which is 1 hour, 26 minutes long. It's a 2022 film, 15 rated, 5.2 on IMDb, starring Brittany Ashworth, Ben Lamb, Louis Boyer, etc. A load of nobodies. And it was exactly what I expected. It starts off 2 girls in the middle of wherever they are in the woods, going to do a climb. And one of the girls, a soon-to-be fiance, who was given, as we see clips through the film, they do a fucking Rennie. They do a look that she flashbacks to certain stuff. He was going to he showed her the engagement ring on the mountain, on the side of the mountain as they're climbing. And then soon afterwards, he fell. So that was the fun bit, right? Anyway, these cars turned up with all these lads in. And there's 4 lads, and we find out they've got a backstory of how they basically tortured somebody to near death earlier on in their life. One of the lads is a right evil bastard, and there's loads of story where he's shagging one of the lads' future wives, this sort of stuff, right? So there's a loads of backstory, which is hilarious. It's so bad, it was brilliant. And so anyway, they're all sort of like, the lads go, do you fancy coming tonight? We're going to have a party around the campfire and all. Oh, no. But they do. The 2 girls go. Anyway, something happens. One of them gets killed. One of the girls gets killed, and they all bash her head in, and they toss her off a mountain. But by then, the other girl has come back, and she's filmed that bit where they bash her head and throw her off, and then she does the normal thing in a film. She makes a noise, and they see. And then they start chasing her, and she basically gets some kit, runs to the bottom of the mountain, and starts to climb. And they're trying to catch her. One of the lads starts to chase her up, but she kicks him away and he falls back down. So they all go and get their kit, and they go a slower route a quicker route around, and they're waiting at the top for her. And she's stuck under this ledge, and then there's loads of things happen, and people, well, let's just say there's only one person survives at the end of it, and I was laughing at every single death because you could see it coming. You know, it was just like, it was brilliant. Brilliantly bad. It was like a normal 2000AD story. It was terrible. You know what I mean? It was, but at least because it was on the phone, I was just watching like half an hour at work when I was on a break. Then I would watch another 20 minutes, just watch it. And when I got home, I had about 15 minutes to watch. So I just watched it while I was in bed. But yeah, it was. That's how the kids do it, don't they? They watch films on the phone. And I remember you said, Flint, that some films do get made specifically to be watched on a phone.
Yeah.
Because it's the way it's the way they film it and all that. I mean, I'd like to. I mean, I haven't bothered searching for it, but if I eventually remember one day when I'm on YouTube, I might see if there's any behind the scenes stuff to see how much is blue screen, because I bet a lot was. But yeah, as the deaths happen, you just laugh because you're just like, well, come on, you know he was going to do that because he's fucking horrendous, he's bonkers. But it's, I mean, like I say, I don't recommend it. If there was nothing else to watch and you're bored out your head, you just put it in the background and just watch for the deaths every so often and just laugh at the way they interact between each other. But
which one was this again?
Give us the camera. We won't kill you. It's called The Ledge. 2022 it was. Give us the camera and we won't kill you. Oh, that old chestnut. Oh my God. Yeah, so I enjoyed it in a sort of sick, perverse way.
Do you guys want to do the prog?
Let's rock.
Pew, pew, Barney McGrew, Cuthbert, Dibble,
all right, Prog 2461. We have an Alex Ronald cover of Rogue Trooper. What do you think of that?
I remember Rogue Trooper.
He's not so much rouge, is he? He's more of a purple, I think, on this.
Yeah, I think purple is one of Alex's colors he uses a lot in his paintings.
And what is it? It's wrong.
That's wrong.
No, it's the lighting.
It's not. I'm not having that. Where's the lighting from?
Doesn't matter. It's all about Rogue Trooper.
Right. But the image is fantastic. I love the going for the big punch. He's obviously Rogue's going to die in this because the Naught's just about to shoot him in the back. Yeah, nice positioning of the Naught that's falling backwards with the smashed visors. Some nice stuff. And like you say, with the lighting, you can see all them little bits of light on the tubes, on his oxygen tanks, on his helmet, and on Rogue's knuckles. So I love all that lighting from the fire that's behind whatever that vehicle is that the other Naughts stood atop. But yeah, apart from it being purple, I love it.
Yeah, I like anything that Alex does. So I'm kind of biased.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not. No, I like it. It's just the purple doesn't work for me.
Right.
Okay. I also like how I like how they actually put the lettering like in the sort of dead space right underneath the logo instead of across the bottom and over the dude getting punched. So that was nice.
And I'll tell you what else. He's actually done the helmet, so the helmet looks as though it's quite real and wearable. You know what I mean? When you see other artists draw, they make it so it's like off of Spaceballs, the Darth Vader character. It looks ridiculous. But the way he's done this,
dark helmet.
Yeah. So with this, he's actually made it so it looks like it properly works.
Okay, Judge Dredd, Messengers Part 2, Ken Neiman, Nick Percival, and Letters by Annie Parkhouse.
Brother Jeremiah from 1650 is taken over by the ancient thing in the forest, which tells them that he will be the rock from which they build their city upon. Meanwhile, Dredd and Sarah Cobb jabber on about him being ready when some creeps shoot at them, obviously missing them both. So Dredd wipes them out. Sarah tells Dredd to ask one of them his questions, but Joe says that he's dead. And Sarah replies, he's one of the messengers, so ask away. At the same time, Giant and Rico destroy the fat porn Ross monster, but before it dies, it tells them that they will both enter the Black Tower, not a bottle of wine, but the Black Tower, but only one will come back out. Also, the weird female judge and the corpse judge head deep into the undercity and come upon the Forest of the Fathers.
Well, yeah, there's a few issues with this. We have another Native American, white people taking over Native American land that we had from Rob Williams, that kind of thing going on. The second thing is that the storytelling is pretty all over the place. You have to do a double take to figure out which judge is which at certain pages, and then
oh my god!
And that's not Nick Percival's fault.
Shit.
That's not Nick. Yeah, that's not Nick's fault. That's the writer's fault. And the end part where the Forest of the Fathers, who's actually saying that? Is that the judge saying it, or should not be the supernatural judge saying that, and not the real judge?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The word balloon placement is wrong. Yeah, so I found it pretty okay, but I mean, the bad guys have Dredd right to rights there. He's right in the middle of the area where they're firing at him, and he would have been taking a lot of bullets there, John.
I know. It just winds me up.
I don't like how they've got, there's this character that's obviously a ripoff of Pale Grim Rider, and you know, he's got 2 dead eyes instead of 1. So what's up with that?
Wow.
It's the opening page.
I do like Nick's art, but I do think a lot of this was very confusing.
I think sometimes his art could get kind of smeary, but overall this was a lot clearer than we've seen with some of the other stories. It's like, oh, you guys just hate Ken Neiman, Gordon Rennie, and all that. It's like, well, you know, I'm still waiting for that great Ken Neiman story that I can love, but
it's quite simple, isn't it? Name one of the characters that he has, apart from that monkey thing, which I can't even remember its name. Name a good tale, a true good tale, where it's got a very exciting intro to get us all wet for the big comeuppance. Then tell us how exciting it was as it progressed through the story, introducing and taking characters out. And then when we get to the big finale, how awesome it was. I can't remember anything that he's done that has anything like that in it. And that's how a story in 2000 AD should be.
Yes. Part of the other thing is like we've said, you know, the tell that this is probably the Gordon Rennie family, or at least is that Gordon Rennie he's very good at writing horror stories. The best things I've read from him have been horror. And so this is Judge Dredd doing horror stuff. And the artwork's good. I mean, the people the witch ladies are scary, or the lady with the thing in her eye is spooky, and the Ross porn thing is creepy, and even going in the hollow earth thing is, you know, it looks really nice. But I just kind of don't care. There's too many characters, and then now we've got this like magical horror thing under Mega City 1. I know they've done Judge Dredd horror stories before, but this is like they're going to try to make an epic out of it, and it's kind of like if you forget that this is part of a much bigger continuity and just enjoy it for like the story itself and completely forget everything else that's ever come before with Judge Dredd, it's okay. But now they're introducing this whole magical horror undercity, and it's going to go on for probably much too long. So, I like the art. It's not, I'm interested, I don't dislike it yet, but I'm not loving it. And like I keep saying, it's like what was the last Dread story we really liked? Where we just was it the Michael Carroll one?
1980 something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that there's this big long pause and we have to think about it. I mean, even the Wagner ones were okay, but something felt like it was missing. The Citadel, I mean, that was and the Citadel, they pooped the bed on that one because they kept saying everything's going to change. It's like, no, it's just like a really good John Wagner action story.
And didn't people involved in that story wonder why Thag had put that on the bump, because they were like, I don't know what he's on about.
Yeah. So again, it's like, it's okay. It's the Galaxy's most okay-ish Dread story. And also, you didn't mention it, Flint. Is it a promise or a threat that the Discarded's coming? We got another Peter Milligan story in the works.
Oh yeah, I avoided that on purpose.
Yeah, so
I didn't want to go on. I didn't want to go on a little mini rant because that's going to be fucking god awful.
Yep. I'm sure I know they owe him a solid for Bad Company, but yikes, the last 3 or 4 things. So anyway, that's that.
Yeah, I didn't want to prejudge that before, but I'm like, yeah, fuck it.
I'm not looking forward. Let's put it this way: I'm not looking forward to it. So
no, where am I?
Yeah.
What did you think of Dread, John?
It bores me. Like I say, the problem is, and it's in a couple of strips. As I'm reading this, and there's one, I'm just trying to 2, 3. There's 4 separate stories happening in 6 pages. It's just all over. It might be better. It'll obviously be better read in a graphic novel, but as an anthology weekly, and I'm reading 6 pages, it's like, well, there's 1 page about the old bloke from the past, 2 pages about Dread, 1 page about Rico and Jan, and 2 pages about the other 2 weird judges and the thing. It just doesn't flow nicely as you're reading it, so you're just like, it's so disjointed, so it kills it. Like I said, the artwork's lovely, some beautiful imagery from Nick. The horrific stuff at the beginning, even I like to say the fight I mentioned last week, the fire effects, all that sort of stuff. Even the final page, that weird sort of red burning sky emitting from whatever's in them sort of rocky type outcrop ahead, but it's just ghastly to read.
Okay, and I'll lead with this because it's the usual rant. So in case you've turned off the podcast before you've heard these lengthy things at the end. First story is a horror story. It's a horror story put over a Judge Dredd story. There is a little bit of action in it, to be fair. Next story, Rogue Trooper tries to be 2008 classic 2000AD. That's like 5 pages or so. And then you got this, it must be double length. You got a slow burn horror story in a science fiction action comic that goes on for page after page after page again. And then you've got a slow burn science fiction story it's the end of the whole arc. And like, spoiler, someone gets shot in the head at the end. And that's, holy shit, dudes. Anyway, so we'll talk about the rest of it when we get to it.
Okay, Rogue Trooper, Ghost Patrol, Alex DeCampi, Neil Edwards, Matt Soff, and Rob Steen.
All right. As the massive fish approaches Rogue's vessel, they can't shoot as the ship is compromised, and so he gets eaten by the beast. Turns page. Cock-a-doodle dirty birdie. They gun the craft, and it somehow manages to escape the creature's mouth. Rogue tells Jock to take the helm and wear helm. Oh, that's interesting. And drive and turn out the lights when he hears the crash. Rogue then takes a load of grenades and smashes through the compromised dome, heading right to the beast. At the same time, the lights are turned off, and he throws the grenades into the beast's mouth, and it blows up. Meanwhile, the Nords have picked up an encrypted signal from the bottom of the ocean.
This is so bad. I mean, this is really bad. I mean, you can see that the ship is compromised. And where does Rogue go out, leave to attack the fish by breaking the dome, which means that the whole vehicle would have been flooded because they wouldn't have had compartments there that you seal off, right? So the whole thing would have been completely gone. It's so bad. I mean, it's good grief.
So he's immune to the
Pressure.
well, he's immune to the poison water in the ocean, but the pressure doesn't. Maybe it's not that deep. They don't really say. But
any creature that has a lure on top of it like that is from the depths of the ocean.
I was waiting for Helm to say there will always be a bigger fish. So yeah, so I mean, this little side. So this is part 12, and 5 pages are devoted to this little side quest thing where they're trying to kill the fish. Or trying to get away from the fish. That's what this is. I mean, it's an action scene. To give them credit, it's an action scene. Doesn't always make the most sense, but they're trying, because this is the only story that's like old-timey 2000 AD action. It's kind of dumb action, but there you go. And not in the past they weren't all bangers, but and the artwork's really good. I know Flint had issues with the artwork. I see what you mean, and it's a little stiff.
No,
but...
I like the artwork.
Okay.
Just think it's the subject matter is terrible.
It's just you're doing part 12. You don't have to establish what a badass rogue trooper is by part 12 with this little side quest thing where they're trying to get away from this fish that's essentially that sequence from the Phantom Menace. So anyway, but that's gotta keep those DeCampi stories coming, because for reasons.
All right, what do you think, John?
It was just diabolical. It's like I say, oh, we can't find the weapons because that'll compromise us. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm just going to smash straight through this bit, which will compromise us, and do a risky thing where I could get eaten and killed, whereas you could just shoot it and kill it. Yeah.
It's pretty bad. All right, Dead Town Part 1, David Barnett script, art Luke Horseman, and letter Simon Boland.
Coming to Netflix. So I'll be honest with you, I kept falling asleep. So it starts off with, I guess this is supposed to take place in the 90s, and the zombies have all come back to life. And they're not out to eat people. Apparently, they went home to whatever they did before, and now it's basically like a where do we put all the immigrants allegory. So it takes place in a police station, and one of the zombie detectives comes back and gets partnered up with this gray-haired lady who was the only one who volunteered to work with him. And I forgot even what the thing was, what they were investigating. There's the backstory about the Russian satellite crashing in the graveyard.
Well, the Russian satellite crashing in the graveyard is one that caused the zombies to come back to life.
Right. So there's I'm just kind of
they're
they're
investigating the murder, the re-murder of one of the zombies.
Right. So they go into this like what do they call the tenements over there? Anyway, they've got this like apartment complex where they put all the poor people that was like half built, but now they put all the zombies into it and they call it Dead Town. And then there's little bits about using insulting language to the zombies. They find the guy's head. He's been decapitated, and that's the only way to really kill. His name's Jimmy Pills. They find Jimmy Pills' head decapitated, and that's the only way to kill a zombie. So it's going to be a drug killing thing. And they go to question this guy named Crawley, because if you do an occult story, something Crawley always. then there's people like being racist against the zombies, and there's a zombie hotel, which is like where they're putting all the people from the Middle East over in the UK. The main detective lady with the gray hair and the big nose goes home, and her mother's just watching TV. So it's like, what's the difference between when you were alive and now that you're a zombie? And Zombie Man sees families living their family life, and they sent a couple of regular street cops to investigate a warehouse, and they found a bunch of brains in it. The end.
Well, I thought the artwork was really good. I think Luke Horsman really dialed his style back a bit compared to Enema Earth that he did a while back.
Yeah.
A couple of things. I do like the zombie angle on it. I thought it was clever how he'd written in the restrictions they have and how they came about.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is, I don't think he would have the bad drug guy would have been pulled up for saying anti-zombie language, because I don't think the force had become so politically correct by 1996 or wherever it was, or 7.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's completely out of place. That's looking at things from today's lens back to put on it back then. And also, I get the impression that, I could be wrong, Detective Constable Rook, the zombie detective, I get the impression he's black. But I don't think they would have had a black detective in the force then in 1950. So that's, again, taking things from today's lens. Oh, we got to have a black hero or a black or a minority, and just slap them in there. I'm hoping wrong, but that seems to be a bit of pandering, because she goes home to her mother, and her mother is obviously a zombie, but they go through the motions of what they did before, but they have no emotions. But he's kind of like the zombie Rook is looking in at this family, and that could be his daughter or son with his own family, and he's looking in, and it looks as if he's shedding a tear watching them. So he might be a little bit different than the others. But I think that's kind of, he's taken a story set he said it in the 1990s with today's sensibilities, which doesn't work for me.
Everything in
has
the
to be seen
past
through a lens.
should be exactly like it is. Everybody should have thought and acted like the way they do now.
Right.
All right, so
that's the only thing I have. But I actually like it, and I do like that it's a double episode. I do wish that one of the things that I liked in the last Prog as well, and this Prog, is that he had that Tharg and his wisdom had one story that was a double installment, which is good. I think 4 stories works instead of 5.
Yeah, I think that, well, the whatchamacallit story, the Red Dragon one, having the double length one made it better, but god damn. Still,
I mean, you can see in this one, you can see in this Dead Town that there was a natural break at page 6.
Yeah.
Because it has that big bottom panel for where it says Jimmy Pills has been murdered for a second time, and then you could have your next Prog. So, and you can see where they could put the logo down for the strip on the next page as well.
Yeah.
You can see originally it was meant to be 2 parts, but Tharg and his wisdom combined them together, which I think is okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I have no problem with it. It read well. So, I mean, was it good? Yeah, it's good for all the reasons you said. I think the artwork was much clearer and better than Enema Earth. Enema Earth was kind of like try hard for the kids or something, and it was just too much. Kids comics don't look or read like that. There's a lot of interesting world building. There's the characters are fine, the concept is fine. I'm just like, it's another goddamn slow burn story, and it reads like something that could have played on Netflix. And my message to every comic book creator listening to this now is that if comic books now cost 3 comic books for sure cost about the price of a monthly Netflix subscription, where you can watch endless stuff like this. All the slow burn shows you want to see, all the shows that go on for 10 minutes of characters just doing character shit, and then, oh my god, it's like one good special effect, and then keeps going on and on and on, and they know you're not they know you're not really watching. It just moves at this slow ass pace, and there's just enough interesting visual stuff to keep you going at it. And that's what this is.
I disagree.
And, yeah.
Yeah, I disagree. He just set up the world in the first installment.
It's
all that you need to know the backstory. And I mean, a backstory. You do get zombies crawling up out of the ground.
No, yeah, it does have.
You did
right.
get a decapitated zombie.
No, it is. It's exactly as long. It's exactly paced enough to keep you interested. I'm not saying this is bad. I'm just saying that conceptually, that we've got this other slow burn story in a comic book, and for readers' value, I think we've passed the point where we need endless slow paced Netflix type, I'm not going to even say pitch, Netflix type storytelling in comic books anymore, because the industry and the readership and everything has shrunk so much that the people who love comic books are the people who are still left. And we don't need to I don't need to read this kind of story in a comic book, because I can go on to any of the streaming channels and find some kind of horror, slow-paced horror thing that's also pretty good. I don't need like more of that in a comic book. I'm reading this because for, the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, I liked the action stories that were very funny, and then they'd throw this in as like the fifth story. But now the Dread stories read like Netflix things. The Brass Sun reads like a Netflix thing. There's this like Netflixing of storytelling that's just, Netflix can't do space opera. When they tried to do that god-awful Rebel Moon thing or whatever, obviously they can't do space opera. They can't do Jennifer Lopez doing mech stuff. They can't do mecha whatever things. They can acquire all the manga and they can acquire all the anime you'd ever want to see, but they can't make it there. This kind of stuff they can make. This is like Netflix's stock and trade, and the Prog has become the Netflix of comics. And for that matter, so is Image Comics. A lot of what they do feels like a failed screenplay or Netflix pitch. But like 2000AD, you used to be able to do it, and I get it. I'm in all the 2000AD groups. I see the stuff online. There's nobody out there who's got like it's like, oh, this guy did a Kickstarter that's like amazing. Pick him up and get him to write for your 2000AD. That creative team isn't out there as far as I can tell. Or if they are, they're so successful they don't need 2000AD. But even then, I haven't seen anything like I want to jump on this train. So, by the way, I was going to say earlier too, side thing. There's one of those Jungle Girl porn things that made $25,000. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! There's 11 covers. That's how you make $25,000.
There you go.
Anyway, this is a rant for this particular installment, for this particular issue. Yes, the writing was pretty good. I think I've become a fan of this artist. I like the artwork.
Do you know who the writer is?
Yeah, it's isn't it David
Barnett, who did Shook and Hearn?
Yeah, I mean, again, and he's like the master of the slow burn kind of occult things. But I know if you sat down with Arg and you're like, hey, what's with all the horror stories and all the fantasy stuff? I thought 2000AD was a science fiction comic. And they'd be like, oh well, it hasn't been for a long time, blah blah blah. I get that, but it's like literally, well, I guess 3 of the stories in this are sci-fi, but it doesn't feel like it anymore. It doesn't.
Yeah.
And anyway, so there you go.
What do you think, John?
I enjoyed it, and I agree with the points you said about putting things in the wrong time, trying to fit them in.
He's putting a today's lens on something in the 90s.
Yeah,
when it doesn't work like that. But I like the artwork, very very enjoyable. I did enjoy the.
Do you know what it reminds me of, John? Remember when Steve McManus did Blazer, and the one story set in World War II, and people got upset that he used the word Japs.
Yeah, I mean they are Japs, aren't they?
Yeah, well, that's the way the comic books were written in the 70s. The whole point of Blazer was to be a representative of what a typical 70s comic would have been. But they went through and changed it, didn't they? Because of that thing. Well, then you're altering history, right?
Yeah, and when I was at school, we played Japs and Commandos.
There you go.
I would have liked Life on Mars more, but I didn't like the way they treated the women. And
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't, if you're writing a story in the 70s, you have to have that ugliness in it.
Right. I mean, that can be the point, and sometimes it can be like, hey, look how far we've gotten. This doesn't look cool anymore. So instead of like, oh, we're just not going to put it in there at all.
Right.
People call bullshit. Because I was
Anyway.
there, man.
Anyway, go ahead, John.
That was basically it, really. Like I said, I enjoyed the artwork. I enjoyed. We
always interrupt him when he's eating.
I know.
Yeah.
I was having
like having Julius back on, who's like eating while he's doing the thing.
But yeah, I think you're right. When he's looking in the window under the light, a bit as in the Omen. Was it the Omen? No. Which one was it?
Exorcist.
Exorcist. And he's looking in. That's definitely a tear coming from his red eye, isn't it? Where he's just thinking.
That has to be his family. That has to be his family,
yeah.
because the whole impression in the episode was that he always go back home. They always go back to where their home is, and they go through the motions, even though they don't have any emotions. So
I bet they think.
So that's just like yeah. So they have this 1950s detective constable, or whatever, and he's black, and I don't think there were many, or if any at all, back in the 50s. People of color that were in the police department in that position.
No.
Could be wrong. Of course, I say this, and then people will give me like 50 examples in the UK of where around London where that happened.
Right.
But it does seem it does seem like they're looking at this story, even though it's set in the 90s, with this character is supposed to be from the 50s, with 2025 eyes.
Yeah, the thing about him being black, I totally blacked out over that. But I think you're right about that one.
I did like it. I think it's got potential. So we'll see how it works out. But what do you think of the art, John? Do you like the art?
Yeah, I do. Very striking. Not too detailed, but visually enticing, especially when it mentions about the radiation and the zombies coming out the ground. I did like that image. Very. It has a bit of look of like an alien zombie type creatures from the 1950s, early 60s films from America, to me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and also having a double part opener is a good idea. And we mentioned this before, when you're bringing a new story in, so you don't have just a short, you can really involve the readers into it then and get to know a lot more in that initial bit. So yeah.
All right, Brass Sun, Part 12, Ian Edgerton, I.J. Culbard, and Leonard Simon Boland.
Okay, I wasn't here to talk about it last time, but the rebels got screwed by the Empire that Ren's ex-boyfriend is like trying to fix from the inside. So his evil girlfriend acted on her own and basically set up this thing where they can like screw them. And then there's like a couple of pages of standing around talking where he explains to her that, you know, they created this rebellion so they could keep an eye on it and give them little victories, but it was actually under their control all the time. And so the evil girlfriend shoots him in the head from behind, which disintegrates everything. And now it's like Ren has a daughter who's still alive, and they're on this jungle planet, and her naked chick daughter's like,
and nobody cares.
Oh my God! It's Brass Sun will return. That's a threat, not a promise. Desolation Road. I hope it runs concurrently with whatever that thing is that what's his face is doing. The Peter Milligan Discarded story. That'll be an awesome prog to have Brass Sun with the Discarded. Holy shit. And another Rob Williams Dread story while you're at it. Or you keep going with the Ken Neiman stuff. So Ken Neiman Dread, the Discarded, or the Retarded.
That's a Tim Walt special.
Another Brass Sun arc. And you know that they can't let it go. They can't quit it. It's like they need 200 pages to make at least 150 to 200 pages to make a graphic novel for the sequel to pair it up with the first one. So there's got to be at least 3 more arcs of this thing to make that happen. So half of next year is going to be Brass fucking Sun if they try. That's if they rush it, you know. So Jesus Christ. And then we've got, and meanwhile, slow burn zombie story. Meanwhile, what did you say was in the Christmas issue? It was like the start of a whole bunch of shit that was like, Jesus.
Yeah, we got Judge Dredd, Mick Max, Big Mega City Adventure by Ken and Streff, Azimuth, Hawk the Slayer, The Call by Alec Worley and Staz Johnson, Strontium Dog, Rogue Trooper, Hen and Shuck, Young Death, Dog Eat Dog by Keck W and Clint Langley. But that's not all. In addition to these all-new thrills, the Christmas Mega Special will also include the start of a brand new series, The Discarded by Peter Milligan and Kieran McCown. All this to cover from Greg Staples' Good Bless Everyone.
There's your coal in your stocking, Rossy.
And there is 100 pages of new strip for £5.99. But you can also get a big steaming turd of a pile in the 2000 AD annual 2026. I looked at it at Gosh and I didn't buy it. This is the first time I've never bought a 2000 AD annual because I'm not a fucking mug. Because what annoys me is the amount of reprint in there is astronomically bad. Now, I can understand 2 or 3 strips, but one of the strips was like nearly 30 pages. I'm sure it was, because it just never seemed to end when I kept flicking. And there's only 3 new strips that I could see: the Judge Dredd, Rogue Trooper, and Cy Anderson. Now, for that much money, 25 quid, that's not good enough. And I don't care when they say the book also contains a few 2000 AD classics from the Thrill archive, which have never been reprinted before. So they're reprints. It doesn't matter if they've never been reprinted before. It's the wordology you're using. They're reprints. And there's too much in there. Now, if the 77, who are the new boys on the block and are the future, as far as I'm concerned, of British comics, because they actually listen to their creators and they give them a chance and all this, if they can bring out an annual on the equivalent price and everything inside is brand new, why can't you? Now, and I'll compare it again. So you've got the Christmas 2000 AD, you've got that Judge Death Mega Special we had, which was quite a lot of pages, and that was a reasonable price. So if you can do it, just double it up or treble it up the page count. So let's go here. The Christmas Prog is 100 pages for $5.99. So let's be insane. Let's go for 300 pages, brand new strip in the annual, and that would be 18 quid. Then you add the extra bits for the covering, you know what I mean, the hardback bit. And that's still, I mean, take the 25 quid, whatever you want. So you can produce this at $5.99 for 100 brand new pages, but you take the piss out of us all with that. Well, no more thag. As far as I'm concerned, you can stick it up your ass. And
the thing with reprint, it's like, well, this isn't like the 5th time we've reprinted it, like everything else.
That was a reason.
They've also done a thing: learn the law, get 50% off key Judge Dredd titles, 50% off Judge Dredd: The Small House, 50% off Judge Dredd: A Better World. 50% off. I am the law. How Judge Dredd predicts our future. Not quite right now, is it there, Mr. Muncher? He's way out of alignment with what the world's doing. Wrong parties and for a start in charge in Europe. And I look at them and go, 50% off? Oh, they couldn't have sold. You must have a big wodge of stock there. So, yeah, it's not going according to plan as far as I'm concerned.
Well, like with the 77, because they do everything on Kickstarter, they can tailor it to, like, this is what we can afford to pay, and this is the size of our, because this is the size of our audience. You know, this is what people are willing to buy before we even have to do it. Well, I think each one is, they've got a system going where, like, they're paying for it as they're not paying for it after the fact. They're paying for it like while it's being made, and most of them are being made. What?
The thing is, they're charging, I think it's 25 quid for the annual. Everything's new in there, right? So let's say the print run's smaller than the 2000AD one, right? Well, the bigger the print run, the cheaper it is for the person who's producing it.
Right.
So, but yet 2000AD is still charging 25 quid and then 30 quid for the alternate cover. And it's predominant, I'd say about 3/4 reprint. It's not acceptable. Not now. We bear baiting finished years ago. We don't bring that saying, well, that was what we enjoyed the old days. I'm sorry. Most of the fans who get these annuals are the people who read the stuff earlier on. And if they and you'll get the occasional person on the Facebook group going, well, I've not read it. And I just think, well, I fucking well have. You know, and most of the people, yeah, but it's true, isn't it? Most of the people in the groups have as well. So here's an idea. Give me an annual for 25 quid with all new stuff in, and then bring out an annual at the same time with a load of reprinting, and we'll see which one sells the most.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with the reprint stuff, I could see where they would have a cycle where it's like, oh, we need to reprint the best stuff every 10 years for the new readers. But how many new readers are they? I mean, are they getting enough new readers to justify an entire print run of all the classic older material? I mean, you can whatever the new reader number is, you can attach onto that the people who will just keep rebuying everything that they publish, especially if it's like fancy and nice, like the way they do Slain and Nemesis the Warlock and all that. But
you mean fancy and nice and fucked up like they did with the definitive editions?
You know what? There is that. That's indefensible. So, but I understand the idea why you would have like 5 Nemesis editions of Nemesis Warlock out there, because they have to do like a new one every 10 years assuming they get some new readers. But I'm not seeing that. You look at the pictures of Lawless and Thought Bubble and all. It's like all the people there are like, most of the people there are our age, somewhere between our age and Molcher's age. There's no one like younger than that. Oh, now my 6 o'clock alarm went off. And then same thing. And then with the way 77 works, it's mostly talented amateurs and semi-professionals with some professionals who have a story that they want to tell or something that, you know, they've had sitting around, want to get out there. It must, presumably 2000 AD must cost more because you're getting, you know, Ken Neiman, or you're getting, you know, I don't think Nick Percival can work for under a certain amount. You get what you pay for when you get like Alex Ronald to do a cover. So I'm sure all of them charge a lot more than what the 77 can afford to pay. But which is, I'm not, you know, in case they're listening, I'm not saying they don't pay a fair wage, but I don't know how close it comes to the 2000 AD page rate. I would imagine that the old guys get paid more. So, but I'm just, yeah, but the bottom line is the annual didn't seem like a good deal to me.
No, you can't today. In today's climate, you can't put that much reprint in a book and expect it to sell. I mean, it's not we're not living in the 70s or 80s anymore, so I don't think you can do that and get away with it. What was your favorite story?
Well, I'm gonna have to go for the what was it called? The dead zombie thing. Got the name of it now. It's at that page. Dead Town. It was an intriguing bit. It was a new sort of take on the old, very staid, tired, and boring zombie story. So we're having, to me, it reminds me a bit of that, the way they're doing it, the Alien Nation TV series. The aliens come down. We have an alien put in the cops, teams up with a human. We're having this sort of thing, but with the dead. So it'll be interesting to see where we go.
Yeah, I agree. I'll go with Dead Town as well as my favorite. What was yours, Rossy?
You know what I'm going to go
Nothing.
with? No. You know what? I'm not even going to say best of the worst. It's just conceptually, I'm like done with the slow burn stuff because it's, I might as well just watch on Netflix, and I don't like Netflix, so I won't watch or read anything. But I'm going to go with Dead Town because it is well done. It is a well done version of something I'm tired of seeing everywhere.
All right, I think that's it. Anything to add before we hit the road?
Well, speaking of reprints, real fast. I hate to trash talk people I like, but I got, because since I'm in a bitchy mood, you got a break from it last week, but since I'm in a bitchy mood, I got this book called FemForce Forever, and it was supposed to be a 40th anniversary special, but it looks like they're going to be doing more of it, and almost all of it's reprint. And the way they chose what they're reprinting was so bizarre, and so it isn't like a full story. It's like 7 pages out of a story.
Oh, to be continued.
It was it was just like this. It was this chunk. It was like,
but it wasn't standalone, right?
Right. It wasn't even standalone in the standalone sense of standalone. It was like, here's a 22-page story of the comic. We've clipped a page 1 somewhere like in the middle of it, and up to page 7 towards the end of it. And I'm not even sure why they chose that story. I didn't read the editorial in the back of it, but it wasn't like the best that they'd ever done in the history of FemForce. And then there was a wraparound segment that was like okay-ish, and then there was a 2 pages in the back that was like some Italian artist that they repurposed. It was from another story an Italian artist had done that wasn't FemForce, but they repurposed it to make it into a FemForce story. And the character was called like Calavera or something, and she was completely indistinguishable from that X-22 or whatever the teenage Wolverine girl is with the 2 little spikes in her thing. So I was like, what the hell, guys? I mean, and I think it was like $6 for that. And the cover, I couldn't, with them, I'm sure they cannot do any kind of AI stuff without losing whatever fan base they have left. But the cover looked like it might have been AI, because one of the characters in the background, the face was really fucked up. The first 2 characters looked okay. They looked like they had been done.
What's the name of the book? FemForce what?
FemForce Forever. So there's a guy who's like associated with AP in some way, and anytime somebody kind of sort of does AI stuff, he is the AI police. He is on it. It's theft. It's everything. It's all the stuff. It's like, I've heard that.
That's an AI image.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, well, but this guy he still uses, what was that program everyone used? Poser. So he does a lot of Poser stuff, and he's gotten better at it. I guess the Poser program has improved too. But so posers like A-OK 100%, post that shit everywhere for free. But if you do AI, it's like shame. So I kind of get that. I do get there's a difference, but so to me that cover looked like it might have been poser, but then again it's like there's something about the faces.
It looks like you used poser and then run it through AI, because all the eyes and all the characters are messed up. There's a face on one of the characters in the background that looks screwed up too.
That's the one that's flying, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, it's like, dude, I know you need to cut costs, but yikes. So I'm at the point with my Femforce collection that I think there's a few issues that are so astronomically overpriced on the collector's market that I'm like, if I don't run into those at a swap meet from somebody who doesn't know what it is, then I'm just not going to get it. So I'm pretty much done. I think I'm done. So it's another one bites the dust, because the last few, and they've been doing like reprints of Golden Age stuff. It's like, why are you charging $6 for Golden Age? They recolor it, but it's like really super basic coloring, just like almost like flats. So I'm like, why are you reprinting?
Well,
stuff
that's okay. The doing the flat stuff is okay because it's 1950 stuff. But the problem, yeah, and that's not unusual. There's been a couple of Kickstarters I've watched that people are reprinting public domain stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm like, they're making like 15, 20 grand. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is public domain. You can go on any archive site and download the stuff and read it. But they're still doing it. So that's probably why they're Force guys are still doing it.
Oh, I think they're doing it. I think they're also doing it because of goodwill. You know, I'm sure, like with me, I was getting a lot of it because of goodwill. I was like, I've already got a digital copy of the story. I read it once. I don't need a paper version that I pay $6 for. But I was doing it out of goodwill, and now I'm like, I can't afford the goodwill anymore. So sorry.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're done. Unless you have anything to say, John. He's disappeared. He left a long time ago.
Yeah.
All right, on that bombshell,
I'm back. I turned the mic off. I turned the mic off because I was eating some crisps.
You could say a proper goodbye now. It's like, oh
yeah,
you went like, oh shit, they're talking Golden Age and Femforce. That's another 20 minutes.
Well, because it was very quiet, and I thought the crunch would ruin it. I thought
make it better.
Just look forward to a fantastic Christmas, because next year we'll all be in jail for our thoughts.
All right, and on that bombshell, I'll stop recording.
I am